up, Mafia? So, higher expectations. That is the only way that you can frame this Philadelphia Eagles offense. Because the Eagles didn't just hire an offensive coordinator. They're putting together an offensive hive mind. Sean Manning and Josh Grizzard. Two different strengths under one offense. Let's start with Manning. This hire tells you the exact direction that the Eagles want to go in. Quarterback development, offensive order, and less chaos. Which is perfect because last season we had none of that, and you can see exactly where our offense ended. In the past, Manning's offense has been built off of timing and efficiency. Jordan Love took a big leap there. His completion percentage went up, and his processing and decision making is also faster. He made better throws in rhythm instead of just playing hero ball. And the same can be said about the backup Malik Willis. Malik Willis was ass. Malik Willis was absolutely terrible. But look at his play in Manning's system. When Jordan Love went out with an injury at the beginning of this year, Malik Willis stepped in seamlessly. Before time in Green Bay, he had a 53% completion rate, 3 interceptions, and no touchdowns. Ass. Now after joining Green Bay and joining into that system, his completion rate was over 78%. So once again, imagine if he could take somebody who was a scrub and have him put up numbers like that. Imagine what he can do with Jalen Hurts. Manning's value comes directly with how the quarterback progresses and how they grow. And to me, that speaks volumes from the Eagles organization on where they want Jalen Hurts to be.
Of our progressions and timing and reading with our feet, and then just the fundamentals of the position. So to me, it really starts with footwork, and that's something that all quarterbacks need to focus on. But I know really when I first was exposed, it was with Matt in LA in 2017, and it was really a kind of foundational moment in my playing career. I got so much better from understanding how the footwork helps your accuracy, it helps your decision making, helps the timing of the play. So that's really kind of the starting point of what really with any quarterback, but Jordan in particular, we really just always want to have that point of emphasis.
Now, add Josh Grizzard on top of that and what he can do with this passing game, and that spells top 10 in the league for our Philadelphia Eagles. Grizzard came from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where the numbers mattered and they can be seen in execution. Last year, Baker Mayfield finished top 10 in passing yards, and he did that without Mike Evans for most of the year. So without his best passing option, he was able to maintain and keep those numbers, which shows you that the system actually matters. Even without him, he ran a pass game that consistently created space. Every other weapon on that team was able to eat. And the biggest thing is that they fed their best player. And I can't even explain how important that is. When Mike Evans was healthy, he was the focal point of every single drive. Imagine you're on the defensive side of the ball. You know where the ball is going, but you can't do anything about it. And it wasn't just on third downs. Looking at you, KP, it wasn't late when they were already behind the sticks. It was early, it was often, it was every time they saw a sizable matchup. And that's where Grizzard helps his offense immediately. He's going to come in immediately and make an impact. Because our best guy is A.J. Brown. And he shouldn't have to fight coverages all game just to get targets. And he shouldn't just be the third down guy. I think that the passing game flows through A.J. Brown. Once he gets his touches, once he catches his rhythm, and once he gets in his mode, it opens up everything else for everybody else on the field. This new staff should be designing touches for each receiver. Adding motion to increase more coverage tails. Adding more slants, adding more crosses. Take some shots through the middle. And no more goddamn hitch routes. Too many goddamn hitch routes. And I think this will even help to elevate Devontae Smith, even though he's playing at an elite level. Cleaner routes, more spacing, less freelancing. And this is where this new tandem matters. Manning will handle the quarterback play and the overall structure of the offense, while Grizzard handles the passing game details. Routes working together, concepts building week to week, and not just calling plays in isolation. And that's the problem that we had last season. There was no rhythm, there was no groove, there was no continuity. It was every week letting Kevin Patullo go out there and freelance. And now that's why he's somewhere flipping burgers. Having these two guys is massive for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. That's basically two offensive coordinators sharing responsibilities instead of one guy doing everything. And then there's Jalen Hurts, probably the most important puzzle piece on the board. And let me break down why. Jalen has had a new offensive coordinator every year since he's been in college. So that's looking at about 10 years. Give or take the 1 year where he had Shane Steichen twice. Which I think can be brutal, problematic, and can also stunt his growth. Every year, a new terminology, new expectations, a new voice, a new method, a new system, as well as a different set of limitations. I've noticed that every year Jalen Hurts has been Jalen Hurts, but he's had to play differently. Because every different offensive coordinator has their way of play and has their way that they want their offense to flow. And Hurts has been asked to fit that way. And that's why I think Manning knows this better than most people. Because he's lived this same situation as a quarterback. He's been a career backup and he's had to learn how to adapt and learn new systems on the fly. So kind of the same situation. He knows that Jalen's going to need continuity. And if this staff sticks for even 2 seasons, then Jalen Hurts finally gets the consistency that he needs to succeed. Because stability is one of the most important things that a quarterback needs to succeed. Not having to reinvent themselves every season. So yeah, to me, the expectation for this offense is exceedingly high. Because the Eagles are being very deliberate with this transition. Us as fans, I know that we're tired of the same thing year in and year out. Doing well one year, then middle of the pack the following year. Doing well one year, back to middle of the pack the following year. We want some consistency also. We are the Philadelphia Eagles. We are elite, and we need to see that year in and year out. I think that this new offense will be cleaner. More under center play. More play action. And less of asking Jalen to be Superman on 3rd and long. And if that doesn't work, then we'll know exactly where the issue is. But going into 2026, the setup is real. The talent is real. The potential is real. And we finally have a staff that matches the roster. So I'll ask you straight up, what are you expecting from this offense now? Because for me, average is not acceptable anymore. Drop it in the comment sections and let me know. So the Eagles now have their coaches and they have their players, and now all they need to do is put a system together. So I think that in 2026 that this offense is going to be elite. We have all the pieces, we have all the skills, and we have the mindset to be elite. Now it's all about creating a system that exceeds our expectations. So remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend that Brother Shy has a YouTube channel. So signing off, this is Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.